Hello everybody. In this video we are going to look at the one act play, that is A Sunny Morning, a comedy of Madrid in one act. It is written by the two brothers Serafin and Joaquin Alvarez Quintero. They combinedly written many works, and one of them is this one act play. The very interesting fact of these two writers is that the very first stage piece, Gilito, after the publication of this particular stage piece, they were called as Golden Boys of Madrid Theatre. They always wrote as a partnership. Even after the death of Serafin, Joaquin continued his writing along with the name of his brother. Their writings include good taste, and it is notable for poetic imagination, and it was well constructed. In this one act play, we are able to find a very few number of characters, that is Don Gonzalo, Donna Laura, Petra, Juanito, and the God. Here, the important characters are Gonzalo and Laura, whereas Petra is the maid of Laura and Juanito is the servant of Gonzalo. The God is the lover of Petra. Very interestingly, in a park, Gonzalo and Laura met each other. Once they were lovers, separated by fate, and in the very beginning, they are not able to find themselves or recognize each other. But unwillingly, they are not ready, and they are not ready to open up with the past events. But they are able to find out each other, and they began to discuss their lost love story as if it was the past history of a beautiful lady and a man on horseback. So when they entered into the park, it was the time that Laura, she wanted to feed the pigeons with her breadcrumbs, and so Petra leaves her to talk with the guard, and at that time enters Gonzalo. Both were nearly Laura and Gonzalo, they were nearly 70s. But this Laura is very refined, and Gonzalo seems to be somewhat impatient. He drags his feet and disturbs the pigeons. This really creates a mess over the pigeons, and Laura becomes angry over Gonzalo. But there is no other way. Gonzalo has to sit at the end corner or the extreme corner of Laura's bench as bench was occupied by some other people in the park. Slowly they began to be friends, sharing a snuff, and as he starts reading poems, she also pretends to read without the glass, but really it is the fact that she recites them by heart because she already knew that. And they began to share that past history as if they belong to the place Valencia. Thus, Gonzalo tells the story of the beautiful lady, and he was known to be the silver maiden of that place Valencia, and this lady seemed to be his cousin's Lady Love, and this was a very beautiful lady with seems to be fair as a lily with black hair and black eyes. She used to have a very good expressions too. She'll be often standing by the window with red roses. And Laura continues the story with that this was the story of her friend, and it had a very sad ending. And then she continues that her lover used to come on a horseback every morning and to toss up a bouquet of flowers into her balcony. And finally, after there was a duel between the friend's lover and the merchant who wants to marry that lady, and it seems to be a failure. Gonzalo, once again, he continues the story, and he felt very sorry for the fate that his cousin has to meet, and he has met with the uh, fate that he went to Madrid, and he sent so many letters to his lady love, which was concealed by her parents, and he did not receive any answer from the lady love. So he became very dull and desperate, he joined the army and he just sacrificed his life for while fighting against the country, and he sacrificed his life in Africa while fighting for Spain, whispering the name Laura. A very sensitive story was created and told by Gonzalo, and it was not the case that Laura is a bit less than Gonzalo now. So she also created her own story and told that her friend waited for a very long time, nearly for years together, and she did not receive any letter from the man on horseback. So she wanted to sacrifice her life too. So she just went to the beach where her lover lost the duel. She wrote his name on the sand and she was taken away by the waves. So both have created a very good story as if they wanted to make their past a very great one. So Gonzalo told his past as if it was the past history of his cousin, and Laura told it as if the story of her friend. But in reality, after after the love affair, it has been nearly 2 years, and Laura got married, and Gonzalo he ran away to Paris with a ballet dancer, and it is nearly several years now. It is by fate they met once again as strangers and shared their past in a very different way without concealing each other's identity. And but at the end it is really so sensitive that we need to admit, because Gonzalo picks up the violets dropped by Laura. Still, they relive their past memories without revealing their identity. This was very clear with this one act play. And this was also an award winning student film, The Silver Maiden. And I have just attached the link here. You can also look at it and enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening.